You ever get the stink eye in a hot yoga class? Oh, yeah. There's a first for everything, people. And today, on Hot Yoga Problems, we're going to talk about it. Because I experienced this for the first time ever. For the first time. Well, maybe not. Oh. Goodness gracious. The winter vortex is on its way. Woo! Look out, everybody. End of times. End of times. Oh. Woo! I had to get some hot yoga in this morning in anticipation of being snowed in. Apparently it's going to be snow and ice and freezing rain, and we're going to lose power. And then, it's going to be a coordinated attack from the south by Mexico, north by the Russians. It's like, what's that old movie? Red Dawn. They're timing it perfectly. Wolverines! I'm ready, baby. Let's go. I want to be a partisan soldier. Oh, those were the days in the 80s. All right, listen. I was in class. So, first of all, it's a bit of an unusual situation. It's a Saturday. And typically I'm a early bird gets the worm, early yogi gets the pose type of guy. I usually try to make the first class without fail because I like to just christen the room with my sloth. I like to be the first person in the studio. I like to be in the back corner, out of view, completely like a ninja back there. No one even knows that I'm in the room. That's how I roll. And so I slept in this morning. I don't know if I slept in. I slept late. I didn't have an alarm clock. I just, I went to bed at like 11:30 midnight. I said, let's just let your body wake up when your body wakes up. Why you gotta have alarms everywhere? Okay. So I said, Alexa, don't set an alarm. I didn't tell her not to set an alarm. I just didn't engage Alexa. I didn't tell Siri. I didn't tell anybody to wake me up. I just said, I'm going to sleep. And I'm going to let my body decide. Of course, my dog gets up. He's like waking me up half the time throughout the night. So I got up once or twice. I think I did wake up. I typically, like my rhythm, what is it called? The circadian rhythm is probably getting me up around 5 every morning now. Habitually. 4:45 to 5 o'clock a.m. That's just my nature at this point. As a 50-year-old man, that's where I am. I never would have imagined that in my existence. You talked to me 10 years ago, 30 years ago, for sure. No way. But I actually dig being up early, getting things done, getting ahead of the curve, man. That's what I'm talking about. So, but my body has been enduring a lot of work and yoga and other things, and basically I woke up at like 5:15. I could have hit the early class, but I just let myself drift back into unconsciousness, and it was delightful. But then I woke up and I was like, oh no, I missed the early class. On a Saturday, the early class is 8 a.m. and I didn't want to have to like rush around, and I was like, I looked at the schedule. Lo and behold, a 9:30 a.m. class. That is unusual. I don't know that in my life I've ever done a 9:30 a.m. mid-morning yoga. So you're not the first class in the studio. So it's already warmed up. It's got a bit of a little aroma going on, which is fine. I mean, it's the nature of the beast. I still wanted to get there early to scout out the ideal location. And I got it. I got my perfect position, back left hand corner. The mirror's right there, but I'm not exposed to the masses. There's a wall to my left. Usually there's space to my right because no one wants to be next to this crazy looking dude in the back row. I get it. No, I don't take any slight at that. But then, again, I'm not the only early yogi who wants to get the pose. 2 other yogis come in there and they take the other corners of the room. So yes, the corner spots are coveted. prime real estate. It's like Boardwalk on Monopoly, dude. Park Place. You want that property. You land it or you buy it, dude. You seize it. You seek it out. So I was on the boardwalk of yoga spots. And I'm not ashamed of it because I got there first, and that's what I'm going to do. But I think I may have, because it's a 9:30 class, it's the first time I've been in this class at that time. Therefore, I'm a new guy to the other yogis who typically come at that time. See, I don't know, this is just my observation. It's not like scientific, it's just intuitive in a sense. Observational generalities. I'm speaking here very broad strokes. I think human beings, as creatures, as Homo sapiens, as a species, is that what we are? We seek out and we kind of fall into routines of various kinds. And, this can look like a lot of different things in our life, but for yoga, it means you kind of get into a ritualistic, I'm going to class 3 days a week, 6 a.m. or whenever you go, and therefore you start to get accustomed to seeing 80% of the class that I go to is the same people, because we're the same types of people. We want to get up early. We want to get this stuff in before the day starts, get ahead of the curve. That's a mindset. I wouldn't call it type A personality. I'm not a type A. I'm not a beta soy boy. I mean, I'm just not an alpha. I'm not trying to get in fights. But I do like to get things done. I have an agenda. I have aspirations. I have ambition in life to do things, not just to roll in whenever. Anyway, the point I'm making is, to this 9:30 a.m. studio, I'm a new guy. Who is this guy? Who does he think he is? So this is what I was talking about when I opened the show. I said, have you ever gotten a stink eye in a hot yoga class? Well, the two other yogis there, they get the corner spots. And then some other yogi came in, and usually I'm on my back. I'm just chilling. I'm doing breathing exercises. I'm getting prepped. But I just happened to open my eyes. I was looking at the ceiling, and then I saw a yogi come over and look at me, and she gave me the stink eye. I could tell just by looking at her. She's like, that's my spot. You're in my spot. Who the hell are you? That's how I interpreted it. I could be wrong. That could be a psychological condition where I'm always misinterpreting things, reading the worst in the scenarios. But I do think there was a stink eye situation. I was the victim of it. Do I deserve that type of treatment? I paid, for the monthly subscription. I can roll into any class anytime. I shouldn't have to get a stink eye from a classmate. Then again, I probably have given other yogis stink eyes if I'm going to confess it. But I don't let them see me give the stink eye. I might do it in my brain. I give them a wink from my cerebellum. I don't physically show disgust and frustration to other yogis. I just think it. If I roll in and someone is in my spot, man, that's not a good way to start the morning. And then I reflect for a moment and go, that's a problem, dude. You have an issue. You need to relax. You don't have a property right here. You don't have any movie theater ticket that gives you this specific seat. Although I think that would be a great way to run a yoga studio. And I have, at one point in time, many years ago, I did have friends that owned a studio in DC, and they ran it that way. You secured the specific spot that you wanted in the studio. That was a genius move, and I always loved it because I could secure the spot of preference. But now it's like the old days of a movie theater. You just roll in, you get what you get. Anyway, I had a feeling that I was in, I don't know, I was in someone else's territory. And I don't want to be that guy, man. I don't want to be a disruption. Anyway, that person ended up sitting a couple down from me. And it put me on point. I was like, I'm going to do great. I'm going to have a great class today. I'm going to prove that person that I belong here. I'm not just some new guy who rolled in, doesn't know what he's doing. I'm on top of things, man. And in fact, it was a substitute teacher today. She kicks butt. I know this teacher, and I knew the flow. So I was rolling with this flow. I'm crushing this flow. I had a great class today. So if that stink-eyed person was looking at me and just making sure that I was on point, yes, I did airplanes. I did figure fours. I did the optional wheel. I did an optional wheel at the end. Are you kidding? I crushed. So I feel good about it. And I forgive all the stink eye people out there. If you give stink eyes, just don't do that to people. Give them the cerebellum wink. That's the alternative to the stink. A wink, but it's internal. It's from your cerebellum. Maybe there's a better way to, what are the different parts of the brain? I know the medulla, that's back here. Cerebellum, cerebrium, is that right? Is that right? Cerebellum, cerebrium. I gotta look this up. And cerebellum, cerebrum, or cerebrium, medulla oblongata. I like the medulla oblongata. That's a cool name for an organ. If I was part of the brain, I'd want to be the medulla oblongata. I might name my next dog Medulla oblongata. Could you imagine if you're at a dog park and you're like, Medulla oblongata, get over here. Let's go. Sit, Medulla, sit. Now, you have to give it a nickname. Medulla oblongata is a long name for a dog. Maybe the nickname would be like Moody, Medulla. I don't know where I'm going with that. I just, it's just coming to me. The point is, don't give the stink, give the wink. The cerebellum wink, or the cerebrium wink, or the medulla oblongata wink, or the cranium wink, or the brain wink. We got to come up with a term. It's the alternative to the stink eye. It's the wink brain. Is that right? The wink fly. I'd like it to rhyme. Stink eye, wink, cry, wink fly, wink die, wink shy. I don't know. The point I'm making is do it internal. When you're casting judgment on someone who you don't know because they've frustrated you, they did something wrong to you, you've been slighted in some way, even if it's not your fault or their fault even, as it was in this case. I was just getting my, space in the studio. Be generous to that person. Don't make them feel uncomfortable. Don't give them a stink eye. Stink eyes should be reserved for very limited situations. I don't think the situation this morning rose to the standard of a stink eye. What do you think? Or do you give stink eyes left and right? Are you like dispensing stink eyes into the world like they're worthless and not? I mean, you have to have some value attached to the stink eye. If you stink eye everybody, then the stink eye has no meaning. It becomes your normal standard look. Like that movie. What was that movie? Oh man. The movie where they talk about the girl. It's like a high school movie, and the girl is always walking around like a stink eye, but that's just how she looks. She's not giving you a stink eye. Maybe that's just how this person looks. Maybe I'm misinterpreting things. Maybe this person just has a condition where she's got one eye closed and she's like looking at people like they don't know what they're doing, huh? Maybe I'm the guy. I'm judging a stink eye that wasn't even real. So that's where we land the show. Stop overthinking. Just get to class, live your life. Don't get upset. Chill, dude. That's all. That was a fun one. All right. Get ready for the snow, dude. It's coming. Winter is coming. Apparently, it's going to be end of time. So I'm prepared. I got a 6-pack. I got some potato chips. I got some frozen pizza. If the power goes out, I can light a fire. I'm feeling like I'm ready. I'm prepared. Bring it on. Bring it on, Mother Winter. Is it Mother Winter or Father Winter? Is winter a masculine or feminine season? I think it's Father. Father Winter. Mother is spring, because that's like the rebirth or whatever. Fall is a grandma. Summer, I don't know what the summer is, man. It's like a teenager in heat. All right. Great class today. Great session. Nice talk. Until next time. Namaste, mofos.